What are Estabrook notes? Why is the commission so reluctant to show it? Ripple has got new partners in the Middle East. Will it help XRP to $589? Stay tuned till the end of the video to find out. Welcome back XRP Army. Let's grow the XRP Lab community by pressing the like button and subscribing to this channel to stay updated at all times. After almost a week of silence, the XRP community has received some good news from the court. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, has become tired of the Securities and Exchange Commission refusing to turn over the emails that have been ordered by a court. It was the third time that the Securities and Exchange Commission had been asked to provide up the emails, and they had resisted each time. They approached the judge on the third time and filed a letter of reconsideration. And now Brad Garlinghouse has filed a petition for the release of notes from a meeting between former Commissioner Roisman and Mr. Garlinghouse that took place on November 9, 2018. James Phelan made a statement on Twitter, saying, "Brad Garlinghouse files response to the Security and Exchange Commission opposition to Mr. Garlinghouse motion seeking the disclosure of notes of the November 9, 2018 meeting between former Commissioner Roisman and Mr. Garlinghouse. The Estabrook notes refer to a 2018 meeting between ex-Commissioner Alad Roisman and Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. The notes include highly important facts from the conversation about the nature of XRP tokens. The fact that Brad Garlinghouse was in attendance at the meeting gives him great confidence that what was discussed there would undoubtedly be beneficial to Ripple future development. The notes will very certainly support his narrative of a conversation he had with a commissioner of the Securities and Exchange Commission about the regulation of digital assets. Why does the Security and Exchange Commission want to move Estabrook notes out? The commission has already made the accusation that Garlinghouse was aware of the nature of XRP, but he acted recklessly in allowing the sale of unregistered securities while knowing what he knew. But still, the Securities and Exchange Commission has attempted to correlate the Estabrook notes with the SBI notes, which were taken during a 2019 meeting involving a third-party SBI Holdings, Ripple, and Commissioner Pierce by drawing parallels between the two documents. According to the motion submitted by Mr. Garlinghouse, the revelation of the Estabrook notes would constitute an intrusion into the Commission policy-making process. As a result, the Security and Exchange Commission will be unable to assert that the objective of these notes was to enable Mr. Estabrook to give advice to then-Commissioner Roisman on a hypothetical future proposal on the regulation of digital asset offerings. If the court allows the defendant request, it would be a strong indication that Ripple is on the verge of claiming victory. John Deaton, like many others, was optimistic about the future. This is potentially huge exculpatory evidence. If these notes are produced and corroborate Brad Garlinghouse testimony that he left the meeting with Roisman feeling confident that ongoing sales of XRP were not sales of unregistered securities, game over. We hope so. What do you think? Will it help Ripple win the case? Share your thoughts in the comments. Jeremy Hogan commented on the filing and concluded that even if the Security and Exchange Commission wins this motion, it will not be able to deny what actually took place in the meeting. Let's step back from the motion and think like a trial lawyer. At trial, Garlinghouse testifies about the meeting with Roisman. There is absolutely no indication that Roisman or Estabrook are disputing what was said. Otherwise, the Security and Exchange Commission would gladly produce the notes. If Roisman or Estabrook go turncoat, they could testify that Garlinghouse lied about his testimony. And what happens then? That's right, Ripple gets to impeach the heck out of them with the Estabrook notes, which lose DPP privilege the moment they talk about the meeting. Which means that the Security and Exchange Commission has no evidence at all about the meeting but can only argue that Garlinghouse testimony is self-serving, and all testimony is self-serving. That's very 2 times weak sauce. By which I mean to say, whatever the judge rules, the Security and Exchange Commission is already dead here. The commission is dead on the fact that Garlinghouse left that meeting feeling that he and Ripple were not doing anything wrong. That's of course only part of the battle here. Furthermore, Jeremy Hogan has shared a document, which says there had already been talks of settlement. Jeremy said that, yes, a 1-hour settlement discussion happened a couple of months ago. It did not settle, which means that the next most likely settlement time would be at mediation, which will be hosted by the one and only Judge Ned Byrne, who has seen all the documents in camera. In the document, Section 9 reads, all counsel must meet face-to-face or via video conferencing for at least 1 hour to discuss settlement within 14 days following the close of fact discovery. As Jeremy Hogan had predicted, the case will end soon, and these documents show that another settlement might be on the way. There is only one question: whether Ripple will accept the settlement or continue the fight with the Security and Exchange Commission? What kind of deal do you think will offered to Ripple? And if Ripple wins, the lawsuit outcome could propel XRP price. However, since December 2020, the lawsuit against Ripple has taken a toll on the company's stock price. Ripple and XRP have lost almost 50% of their value since the lawsuit began, with numerous US-based cryptocurrency exchanges discontinuing service for the asset. But a decision in Ripple's favor is expected to send the price of XRP surging over its previous all-time high, according to widespread speculation. Chris Larsen, the founder of Ripple, said that the business is placing XRP in a position from which it will be able to replace the SWIFT messaging system. Ripple is attempting to address the shortcomings of the SWIFT system in order to provide clients with rapid, secure, and inexpensive cross-border transactions using the open decentralized ledger. The ODL, which is powered by XRP, is one of the most essential things that Ripple has to provide. The on-demand liquidity product, which makes use of XRP to transfer money across borders, was originally known as xrpl, but the product name was changed as part of a rebranding effort in late 2017. Chris Larsen went on to say that banks would place their faith in XRP rather than Bitcoin. The latest Ripple deals with Saudi banks serve as evidence of this. With the announcement of their partnership with the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, Ripple hopes to assist banks in the country in improving their payment infrastructure. Ripple X current technology will be made available to various banks in the Middle Eastern countries as part of the newly signed agreement, which will enable them to accelerate both local and international transactions. Following in the footsteps of the Bank of England, the Saudi bank has become the second central bank to cooperate with Ripple in an effort to leverage the blockchain-powered remittance system to enhance the efficiency of everyday business transactions. Despite the fact that many people link Ripple with the XRP cryptocurrency, the firm is primarily concerned with developing innovative means of currency exchange, remittance, and other related financial services. The relationship, according to the Ripple statement, is groundbreaking, and SAMA has acknowledged that it is the first central bank to start a pilot program of this magnitude. While all of this is going on, Ripple has also announced a new relationship with the NCB, National Commercial Bank of Saudi Arabia. They are one of the major financial institutions in the nation, with a market capitalization of over $120 billion. Make sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Kindly note that the prices of cryptocurrencies frequently change, so by the time you watch this video, it might have changed to a whole new value. The information provided in this video does not constitute investment advice, financial advice, trading advice, or any other sort of advice, and you should not treat any of the content as such. The content in this video is for educational purposes only and hence should not be considered financial advice. Do conduct your due diligence and consult your financial advisor before making any investment decisions.